All right. Welcome back. This is part two, and this is chapter two. I don't know if you can see that. It's called intuitive access. So let's get back to that intuitive place that we talked about in the beginning. I summarized it a little bit. Again, I built this intuitive muscle over the years. I've become what people call like a medical intuitive, or I don't even, that word doesn't even quite work right. It's that place of sensory awareness. I call it the art of sensory perception, intuitive access. So, what that is that instead of going outside myself, I developed this tool where I go inside myself and I listen to my body in the presence of love, always in the presence of love. And we'll do a quick meditation and I'll show you how I do that. But I started seeing remedies. I started smelling remedies, sensing remedies, tasting remedies. I started feeling sensations. And we all have this ability. It's like a dog that craves grass when it's sick, or there's certain animals when they're sick, they'll seek out certain herbs, or the shaman in the rainforest, right? Talking to the plants. We all have this ability. We just got to get the mind out of the way. This body, this physical container that we're in, is a product of Mother Earth. This we have all the chemicals, all the building blocks, everything is within us. So really, for me, the intuitive process is if we say our soul or our spirit is feeling into the material, feeling into the physical properties of the body. That is that interface. Some people might call the soul, or I call it the intuitive place. Carl Jung said that spirit speaks in symbology. So that's how it tends to work. It's not a mental thing, it's a sensing thing. The tissue can speak. The tissue can show you images. The tissue can show you sensations, and insights or clues into what's going on in your body. So you have to be like Sherlock Holmes, right? Or Shirley Holmes. And you go in there with your magnifying glass and you're really looking in deep into your body and you're holding the magnifying glass there in the presence of love. It's like, what's the matter? So I'm going to take you really quick through a meditation that I do. And you can find this meditation on my website. It's online on Spotify. I call it the intuitive access meditation. So just take a big breath for a second. Good. Exhaling. We usually take 3 deep breaths. Big breath. Exhaling. That's it. Another big breath. Exhaling. So we start by softening everything. We relax everything. We relax the jaw. See if you can relax the jaw. Relax the eyes. Relax the back of the head where the spine meets the brain. See if you can soften back there. See if you can allow, in fact, the whole head to start melting down as if it's like butter or cotton candy or whatever image you want to use, ice cream. See the whole head starting to melt down into your chest or into your heart. Go to the back of the head, see that melting down. Go to the center of the brain stem. What's it like where the limbic system is and the medulla and all that? What's it like to just melt all that down into your heart, down to your chest, almost as if you're starting to sense the world from a place that's non-mental, a non-mental place of sensing. What would it be like to sense, feel, think even, see the world from your breath, from your heart, as if you didn't have a head? So imagine it's all melted down in there. Good. And I want you to think about the things that you love, the things you know you love, like rainforest or grandma or the beach or laughing, dancing with your friends. Maybe it's a pet, a dog or a cat, an animal. Maybe I like to imagine myself soaring over alpine peaks and I'm a golden eagle. That unconditional feeling of love. Maybe it's your children, your child. Good. And then with that same feeling, I want you to hold a part of your body that's in pain. It could be your brain. It could be your whole immune system. It could be your knee. It could be your liver. It could be your gut. With that same feeling, I want you to imagine that you're holding the most tender love you can imagine, as if you're holding a newborn baby. Hold that part of your body lovingly, tenderly, gently, breathing. Pour out as much love to your little imaginary baby. That feeling of unconditional love. I love you. I love you. What's the matter? What's the matter? And just the way a baby might go, mommy knows that means baby's hungry, baby needs to go to the bathroom. Listen for those sensory cues. You're feeling into the very tissue. Go deeper. Pour more love out. I love you. What's the matter? What's going on? Feeling that unconditional sense of love. Good. Breathing. And just notice, what do you feel? What do you sense? What image comes to mind? What feeling comes to mind? What smell comes to mind? What emotion comes up? Maybe it's nothing. That's okay. Good. Taking a big breath, thanking yourself, thanking your own intuition, your own spirit for going in there. Take a big breath and slowly open your eyes. Great. So that was a very short version of a longer meditation. But the idea is that you get out of your mind, right? We do that by two things: breathing, some deep rhythmic breathing, and relaxing, just relaxing. We imagine that we melted our heads down, right? And we got rid of this. We melted all the thoughts and all the brain came down into our heart. And then we thought about the things that we love, the unconditional things. And don't think about things that you think you should love. If you don't love somebody, don't force yourself. Things you know you love unconditionally, right? That feeling. So by thinking about what we love, we're getting out of the thinking mind and into the felt sense of love. And that is who we really are, right? That is who we are. It's that felt sense of love. That's our spirit. That's that infinite flame, whatever you want to call it, the God within. You choose. But that feeling, we're describing the feeling, right? We're trying to describe what love feels like. So I ask you, what does love feel like? That feeling. And with that feeling of love, then we're going into the body. This love feeling, right? And we're loving the parts of our body that are in pain. You can even do this with the disease. What's it like to love the monster, bless the enemy? What's it like to pull the monster into your heart? The Lyme disease, the long haul COVID, the cancer, the whatever it is. And look, why are you here? What's going on? Your intuition comes from this felt sense. Your intuition comes from this interface of love and the body. And you will start sensing things. You'll start feeling things. You'll start having images. And it's really important to be open to anything. Because what I found over the years is that your intuition will show you what you need, and you have to get your biases out of the way. Because sometimes it'll show you, you know what, dude, you need surgery. And other times it's like, oh, this is a homeopathic, or you need chemotherapy, or you need fermented urine therapy. That's another story. Or, you got to be open to all of it, full spectrum. You want all the tools in your healing kit. And if you're dealing with long COVID or some other immune situation, you don't care what it is. You just want to get out of it, right? So it's really important to stay open to a full spectrum of healing and starting to trust your intuition. So something may not happen at first, but if you keep doing these meditations where you go into your body, over the days, over the months, you'll start to have images, and you keep an intuitive journal where you write these things down, even though you don't want You don't know what they mean. For example, early on, I kept having images, and this is when I had Lyme disease 25 years ago. I had images of wine in a wine glass, right? Okay, so this is where you put your thinking cap on, right? You've had these intuitive moments, you've written them down, then you can do your research. You can put your science cap on. Okay, well, what's wine in a wine glass, right? Okay. Well, let's see. The wine glass is made of what? Sand, silica. Oh, maybe I need silica. That's actually another remedy we get into later. But have wine in it. I need the wine, right? What's wine? So a lot of times you can take this raw symbology and look up extract of wine, or what is it in a more concentrated form. So that's what I did. I wrote Google extract of wine. What is an extract of it? Resveratrol. Oh, some of you probably heard of that. That's an extract or a concentrate of wine. Resveratrol is found in wine and some other plants. Resveratrol happens to be very important medicine for a lot of chronic illness. It's an incredible antioxidant. It's incredible. It helps the immune system. It helps get at the bugs. It helps your brain. Resveratrol is huge, right? I'll give you one more example. With COVID, I saw the spike proteins. In those meditations, and they looked like a really colorful little tinker toy. And I remember thinking, wow, I didn't know what I was seeing at first. And then I looked up spike proteins, like, oh, that's what I was seeing. So they're little chains of amino acids, right? But so I started holding the spike proteins, like, hey, where are you? What's going on here? What's going to break you down, right? What's going to melt you down? And I started seeing remedies. And one of the things right away, going back to silica, was I saw holding the spike protein, had this image of soy sauce, like Bragg's or soy sauce with chunks of glass in it, right? With chunks of glass in soy sauce. And it's like, okay, what's soy sauce? Soy sauce, what's Bragg's liquid aminos, right? Amino acids. Oh, wait a second. The spike protein is a chain of amino acids. So here it is in liquefied form, laying on the ground, melted out, right? With chunks of glass in it. Okay, the chunks of glass is silica. It turns out that, and then you got to put your thinking cap on it. Well, should I take silica? Silica breaks down spike proteins? Yes, it does. But how? Silica can be really toxic, really poisonous. This is where your book is 100% open. What is a small amount of silica? Homeopathic silica. Oh, homeopathic silica breaks down spike proteins. Again, you have to be open to what the medicine can be. In homeopathy, I never used to be into it that much, but I kept seeing things that were like poisonous. It's like, well, homeopathy is actually great for very dilute, small, energetic parts of a medicine, especially the poisons, right? Homeopathy is really an energetic medicine. Whether you believe it in or not, that's your call. But for me, it was an important part of my healing. And I have done every remedy on the planet. All right. So that's a little bit on the intuitive nature of building that muscle, right? Like Sherlock Holmes, building that muscle, doing that meditation, going in there in the presence of love. And there's an amazing magic world that will come to you. And it's such a huge part of how I healed. And I hope it's a big part of your healing too. All right.